والدين ما يهزم واللي فجر زمزم والعيش ما يلزم إن كان به ذلة.
If you want to learn the first step to loving yourself and going in that right direction so you develop that self-love, stop criticizing yourself. Stop doing it. Stop judging yourself. Stop holding other people to these higher standards. Hold yourself to those higher standards, agreed, but also give yourself a little wiggle room to mess up. It's okay to mess up. You learn from messing up, but the problem is we're afraid to mess up. I am going to mess up. That's a part of life. The Messenger ﷺ and Allah teaches us that messing up is where the growth happens. There's a lot of knowledge to be learned. There's a lot of lessons to be learned in messing up. But if you're afraid to mess up, you're never going to learn. So when you are holding yourself accountable to higher standard, that's a good thing. But give yourself some wiggle room to mess up. Because if a person's so worried about being perfect, they'll never be themselves. They'll never learn how to be themselves. And that's where identity crises happen and all that, because you're trying to be someone who you're not.
Or Allah's doing it because, like the father that punishes the child. You see, I mean, you see a father punishing the child, the father loves the child. So why is it punishing it? Because it knows that in the punishment is benefit for the child. It's disciplining the child. It's bringing the child back. It's reminding the child has bound. If you see a child running towards fire and the father slaps the child's hand, it wants to taste a light pain in order to avoid a great pain. You see? Because it knows that pain is nothing compared to the pain of the flame. And when Allah gives you great tribulations, those are nothing compared to the fire. Nothing. So if Allah is purifying you to prevent, to keep you from that, then you realize this is the love of a creator for his creation.
But the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, laughed one day. And when he laughed, the companion said, "Why are you laughing?" He says, "I'm looking into the Day of Judgment." And now, every time the Prophet saw the Day of Judgment, he would cry, he would panic, he would worry for everyone. But there's one time he smiled. And he said, "I laughed because the people on the Day of Judgment, there's a group of them that will laugh." Who is they? There are people on Yawm al-Qiyamah who will laugh. Who are they? They are people who committed sins. And they'll laugh on the Day of Judgment. Who are they? What kind of sins? He says, they will be people laughing, and people will say to them, "Why are you laughing? We've sinned, we're ruined. You've sinned and you're laughing." He said, "Yes, we made tawbah, and our sins became good deeds. And because of these sins, we're going to Jannah." Allahu Akbar. Glad tidings, good news. It couldn't get easier.
In Greece, in the country where my parents are from, mothers are giving their children to the priests because they can't afford to take care of their children anymore. They wake up early in the morning, banging on the pots and pans as a poachers, they have no food. But where is the Greek Prime Minister? Where is the European Prime Minister? Where is the German Chancellor? Where are they? But it was Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, when there was a famine in Medina, he was walking even the outskirts of Medina. When people were eating grass, he saw a woman and she was cooking stones of water to keep her children from crying because she had no food. And she noticed a man, which was Umar, but she didn't know it was Umar. And she said, "I'm going to account Amir al-Mu'mineen." Upon hearing this, because of that moral accountability we discussed earlier, he went back to the Bayt al-Mal, to the house of wealth. He collected the foodstuffs and he carried it himself. And his servant said, "Yeah, Amir al-Mu'mineen, let me carry that stuff for you." And he said, "You're not going to carry my luggage on the Day of Judgment."